Okay, welcome back dear friends. I am Dr. Klim Raza. Today we are moving right in the middle of the brain. Our today's destination is this egg-shaped structure. This structure here, right in the middle of the brain, the central gray matter of the brain. I hope you understood that I am talking about the thalamus. So today we are going to discuss about the gatekeeper of the brain, the relay station, the thalamus, the major part of the diencephalon, just above the midbrain and below your forebrain. And then in second part we will discuss about the nuclei of the thalami, and we are going to discuss in detail the structure lying just below the thalamus, the important part of your brain which help in the regulation of the homeostasis, controlling the pituitary, controlling your thirst, hunger, sexual behavior, and also the thermoregulation. We are going to discuss about the hypothalamus also, but in first part here we have to recognize the structure of the thalamus. So in this 3D structure here you can see, or in this structure thalamus, there are two thalami. One is the right side of the brain, other is the left side of the brain. First we have to recognize this structure today. This is very important lecture, and I hope if you will stay with me, today I will give you crystal clear concepts about the thalamus, its nuclei, its relations, and then about the hypothalamus. So dear friends, here you can see that thalamus, this is the median sagittal view of your brain, median sagittal view. So if in this view, if this structure, this egg-shaped structure is visible to you, this is right side of the brain and this is your right thalamus. Here you can see in this posterior view here. So this is your right thalamus and this is your right lateral ventricle. And now I will show you the anterior view. So this is the anterior view here. This is the anterior view. So right now I am going to remove this right lateral ventricle and this right thalamus, and now you have just these structures. Now look, now this is your left brain from the posterior side, and this is the median sagittal view, and this inside here, this one is your third ventricle. This is the lateral ventricle here, this is the third ventricle connected by interventricular foramen here, which is also called as foramen Monro. If I will remove this your third ventricle, which is of the right side, look, now inside you have got third ventricle on the left side, then you have got structure of the hypothalamus, then I have removed this, and here inside this left side structure, this is your left thalamus in left part of your brain. So this is connected to the right thalamus with the help of this special adhesion. This is called as interthalamic adhesion. So what is the exact location of the thalamus? Suppose I am sending you on mission that you have to enter in the center of the brain and you have to explore your brain. What is the pathway? In your brain you have got the ventricular pathway, the ventricular system which help in the drainage of the CSF. So suppose I am sending you into your brain. You will enter, this is your fourth ventricle here, and through fourth ventricle this is your aqueduct of Sylvius, and now you are entering here. You will stay there. Now you are right in the middle of the brain and you are now existing in third ventricle, because this aqueduct of Sylvius open in third ventricle. So in third ventricle you are standing, you are looking on the right side, there is a thalamus. You are looking on the left side, there is a thalamus. So either sides of the third ventricle you have got thalamus. So remember, lateral ventricles to the third ventricle. So third ventricle is middle structure, is lying in between the thalami and walls of the hypothalamus, and then third ventricle is connected to the fourth ventricle with the help of the aqueduct of Sylvius. Now I am removing all these other structures, and now we are going to entirely focus on these central structures. Okay, Suppose, why I have told you that this thalamus is the gatekeeper, and why this is called as the relay station. You know, in our body we receive important sensations, like we will receive the pain, temperature through spinothalamic tract. We receive the vibration, proprioception through the dorsal column, which is on the posterior side of the spinal cord, inside the grey matter. All these sensations will enter into your thalamus, and then function of thalamus is to assess the sensation and then to deliver the specific area of the brain. Like if you are receiving the pain and temperature or proprioception and vibration, these sensations must be dispatched to this lobe, to this specific lobe, which is the parietal lobe. And in parietal lobe you have got primary somatosensory area. And if you are receiving the sense of the vision through the optic nerve, then to the optic tract, and then optic chiasma, optic radiation, these sensations must be dispatched to your occipital lobe, because primary visual area is lying in your occipital lobe. And if you are receiving the sensation through the cochlear duct, vestibulocochlear hearing pathway, to the medial geniculate body, it must be dispatched to the temporal lobe, where you have primary auditory area. So all sensory sensations except smell, because smell will direct through the nasal mucosa, olfactory nerve fibers, through the cribriform plate into the brain. Accept the olfaction, accept the sense of the smell, all sensations, first they will be assessed by this gatekeeper, the thalamus, the relay station, then will be dispatched to the other parts of the brain. Like I have told you, pain, temperature, vibration, proprioception to the parietal lobe, primary somatosensory area. Vision will be dispatched to your occipital lobe, and then hearing sensation to your auditory area, temporal lobe, and then motor sensation to the basal ganglia and through the cerebellum will be dispatched to this region, because primary motor cortex is in frontal lobe. So in second part of this lecture we are going to draw all the nuclei of the thalamus, which specific sensation they are receiving, and then we will discuss about the nuclei of the hypothalamus.